Okay, so Git is a software basically, and now you have got some idea how it is work. So basically, you are able to see my terminal screen. Are you able to see my terminal screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can
Yes,
install
sir.
Git on Windows. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. You can install Git on Windows as well as on Linux platform, and you have you can access it using PowerShell or terminal. Right now, I've installed it on my Ubuntu machine. Okay, Git is a distributed version control system wherein whatever was said about features of Git, they're available to use. Uh, but for working with Git in a distributed computing environment, I require a Git server and a Git client or a machine on which I am doing the pulling of the code, and there would be a Git server. In today's lesson, 15 minutes that we have, we will be only looking at if I don't have a server and I have my code in my native host machine, how do I manage version control on it? Once we know how to do the activities of Git on a single machine, later on we'll try and understand how to actually do version controlling on with respect to a remote machine, that is where the code is hosted at. Okay, so Git सॉफ्टवेयर इंस्टॉल करने के स्टेप्स आपको उसके वेबसाइट पे मिल जाएंगे. Git CVS ऐसा कुछ वेबसाइट का नाम है, दैट आई विल प्रोवाइड यू आफ्टरवर्ड्स. फिलहाल आई एम कंसिडरिंग दैट यू हैव इंस्टॉल्ड गिट ऑन योर मशीन. सो आपका जो भी कमांड लाइन है, पावर शेल या आपका टर्मिनल कमांड लाइन है, बैश कमांड लाइन है, यू जस्ट नीड टू टाइप इन गिट and hit enter. You will get to see a lot of options available with the command. Okay, so if the Git is installed, you will able to see this particular usage page or use page of the Git. Okay, now to begin working with Git, the first command that you should understand is, say suppose I today started working on one preparation of one document, or say one collection of folders. Okay, so to begin with, what I need to do is I need to go in the folder where I'm keeping my data. So I'm just creating a folder, mkdir, if you remember that command. I'm creating a folder called as my project folder. Okay, I'm going to go into the folder using cd command. All these commands are known to you, and this is simply a folder without any files currently. So I will to begin monitoring of this monitoring the content inside this particular folder using the Git for doing the version control of this folder and all the subfolders inside it and files inside it. What I need to do is I need to use command git space init. So git init will actually initialize the tracking process for the change and version control for this particular folder. So please remember what we did. We created the folder, we went inside the folder, then we are executing a command called as git init. Okay, git init stands for initialize. So I'm initializing Git and telling Git software that you need to monitor whatever changes I'm making inside this particular folder. Okay, so what happens when I do this particular command execution? Okay, I get a output saying initialized empty Git repository. Why empty? Because the folder was empty inside this particular location, project/.git, right? So if I now check by doing ls, still there is nothing in the folder. But if I do ls-al, you know that A stands for showing out the hidden files and folders. You will find that there is a hidden folder named .git. So there is a hidden folder created inside this particular folder which is called as .git. Now I will go inside and check what this .git folder has. So I'll just go and check. So there is a lot of information about current repository that the Git is tracking. So this folder generally in terms of Git is referred to as a repository now. It's a code repository or a code base. So I'm maintaining a code base on this local machine under the folder called as project. Okay, so you will see that the information about various branches, the configuration information, the description of this particular repository, where the current repository development has reached, that head pointer, various hooks means this repository can be sent to some other machines using certain commands, so that are referred to as hooks. So some other people also hook to your code so that they can do certain changes at their native place and then send that those changes back into your code for the purpose of merging into your code base. Okay, so those things would come naturally forward. Like in सब information है, so this is the information that is managed about, or this is all the metadata about the Git repository that we are tracking. Okay, so let us go out of this particular folder. Now I will create one small, maybe I'll just create one small file called as file.txt. Okay, so touch command, you know what it does, it creates a file. Now I do ls, there is one file. Okay, there is one file that has now been generated or created inside the current folder. Now if I ask git and want to know the current status of this repository, I can do that using the status command, git status. So it says that currently I'm on the branch master. So this is the current master branch, or because this is the single branch that we have created. Because folder atta banale, we have not done anything so far as changes. We are not committed. We have not committed any code to this code base. There is an untracked file. Untracked file means what? There is a file that you have created inside the folder, but you have not asked Git to monitor changes in the file. So जब भी आप Git को यूज करते हो तो Git को बताना पड़ता है, Git सॉफ्टवेयर को बताना पड़ता है कि आपको ये सब चीजों को ट्रैक करना है. I just created one file using touch command, but yet I have not told Git how to or whether it needs to track this file or not. तो उसको ट्रैक करना है, ये फाइल अपने लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है तो उसको ट्रैक करना जरूरी है. तो हाउ डू आई डू दैट? आई कैन यूज दिस कमांड. सो इट गिव्स यू अ कमांड एग्जांपल आल्सो. यू नीड टू यूज git add. Okay, nothing added to commit, but untracked files are present. Use git add to track. Tracking चालू करने के लिए you are supposed to use the command git add, and then you should provide all the names of files and folders that you want Git to track. तो मैं लिखूंगा file.txt. So I have written git add file.txt. Now I'll again go back and execute git.status. Now it says that I am currently on branch master. मैंने branch change अभी तक नहीं किया है. Nothing committed yet. No commits yet. अभी तक मैंने कोई भी commits नहीं किया. What commit means? If you have learned database management system, commits means a status of database which is properly completed with all respect of transactions. सभी transactions completed है और ये status है, इसका snapshot मुझे चाहिए. So commit is that snapshot. Okay, so commits is like snapshot of the tracking information. Now you'll say that the changes to be committed. कौन से changes commit करने बाकी है? तो एक change commit करना बाकी है, मुझे बताया गया है. वो है एक नई फाइल है जनरेट हुई है जो ऐड हुई है ट्रैकिंग के लिए, जिसका नाम है file.txt. ओके, और वो मुझे बताता है कि अगर ये आपको कमिट नहीं करने चेंजेस, सो यू कैन से दैट git rm स्टैंड फॉर रिमूव कैच्ड. जो भी कैच्ड फाइल है, जो ट्रैकिंग के लिए मैंने कैच किया हुआ फाइल है, उसको आप अनट्रैक करो. तो ये दो एस्पेक्ट है, मैं किस चीज को ट्रैक करना है, मुझे किस चीज को ट्रैक नहीं करना है. ओके, सो currently I do not want to अनट्रैक दिस फाइल. मुझे इस फाइल का ट्रैकिंग चाहिए. ये फाइल में कैसे चेंजेस होते हैं ये मुझे नोट करने हैं. तो मैं क्या करूंगा? आई नीड टू क्रिएट अ कमिट. सो फॉर दैट आई विल बी डूइंग git commit git commit. और हर बार जब आप कुछ कमिट करते हो गिट में, यू आर सपोज टू इज द स्क्रीन स्टिल विजिबल? मैंने कुछ हिट किया गलती से. somebody can just say if the screen is visible.
Visible, sir.
Yeah, whenever you are actually committing anything, you should say what you are committing. There has to be some message along with that which will refer to what is the possible reason why you are committing this file. So this this commit is to commit file 1 to repository. So that is what I'm writing in double quotes. So this is the message, commit message. So I'm saying that I need to commit. So it says now master root commit. This is the commit ID. So as the Git is tracking the commits, and if you can go back and see what commits are previously done in Git. So this is the ID using which this particular commit will be known as. So it says that I have actually changed one file. Okay, there are no insertion, no deletion, because the content in the file was not there, right? So now if I check git status, it will say that you are currently on branch master, nothing to commit, working tree is clean. So this is one cycle of operation. So you create new file or you edit a file. After doing the editing or creation of file or folder, you will do a git add for that file and folder, or file folder, which will keep tracking that file and folder. Once you want to commit the changes, you will use git commit with the commit message that will make the changes add on to the existing changes. Okay, so now I will again go to my file, which was, I guess, what was the name of the file? File.txt. Okay, possibly I want to do certain changes. File.txt. Maybe I'm storing some data, maybe I'm storing some information of student attendance like this, and putting it into this file. So this is some information of student records of their attendance that I'm keeping in this file. So I'm doing Control X, yes, and I'm saving this file. Now if you check again git status, you will say that you are currently on the branch master, changes not staged for commit. Changes हुए हैं लेकिन वो stage नहीं किए हैं commit के लिए. What is modified is also shown over here. The modified changes are file.txt. Simultaneously, say suppose I'm also copying this file into another file because I want to take a backup. Okay, maybe this is how I keep backup. So I'm copying this file into backup. Now if I say the status, now it says that I have modified one file and there is one file created. And this is already added for the tracking, but it is not staged. What do you mean by staged? Staged मतलब commit के लिए ready किए गए नहीं है. I have done the changes, but I have not committed those changes. Now there are two things I need to do. I need to first add the file.bpk backup file to the git so that it will keep track of that particular file as well. Okay, and the next thing that I need to do is I need to also commit. Now I can do these activities in single shot by writing git commit all. Dash a means all. So I can do commit all the commits at same time. So to do this, I'll just show you the status messages again so that you will understand. It says that I have modified file.txt. So it knows that it is tracking file.txt and there are changes in file.txt. But these changes are staged, means the tracking जिस फाइल का ट्रैकिंग चालू है उसके चेंजेस जब होते हैं तो वो ऑलरेडी स्टेज्ड एरिया में आके बैठते हैं. लेकिन ऐसे भी चेंजेस हो सकते हैं जो अनट्रैक्ड फाइल्स में हो रहे हैं. तो अनट्रैक्ड फाइल्स वाले चेंजेस आपको ऐड करने पड़ते हैं पहले टू द स्टेजिंग एरिया, एंड देन द स्टेजिंग एरिया शुड बी सेव्ड और कमिट. ओके, तो ये थोड़ा सा आपको याद रखना होगा. एंड इट ऑलवेज सजेस्ट यू व्हाट यू नीड टू डू. Okay, use git add file to update what will be committed. Use git restore to discard the changes in the working directory. Discard करने के लिए ये करो. तो discarding हम लोग अभी देखेंगे नहीं. फिलहाल मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि मैं git commit dash a कैसे करके क्या कर सकता हूँ. So I'm not writing a message now. I'm saying that git commit dash a. So what it opens is it opens a file for you. Here you will write what changes are you doing. So it says that you are currently on branch master. Changes to be committed are this modified file और ये untracked file. दोनों changes आप एक साथ commit कर रहे हो. And this is the commit message. Okay. Since I did not provide message while I was giving the git commit command, मैंने सिर्फ dash a option use किया था. ये editor open up हुआ. इस editor में मुझे लिखना है कि मेरा commit message क्या है. Okay, so I can uncomment this to say that आई वांट टू से ऑल दीज थिंग्स, ये पर्टिकुलर कमिट में ये सब चीजें हो रही है, ये कमिट में ये सब चीजें हो रही है। ओके, और आई कैन हैव माई कस्टम मैसेज, मेरा खुद का कुछ मैसेज हो सकता है जैसे मैंने पहली बार दिया था। मैं ये अनकमेंट कर सकता हूँ, मैं खुद के कमेंट्स यहाँ पे डाल सकता हूँ। इट इज ऑल व्हाट आई कैन डू। ओके, मैं खुद के कमेंट्स यहाँ पे नहीं डालने वाला, एंड आई एम नाउ गोइंग टू सेव इट, कंट्रोल एक्स, यू नो दिस। एंड यस, ये फाइल का नाम है कमिट एडिट मैसेज, और ये जो है ये डॉट गिट फोल्डर के अंदर है, ये देखो। ओके, आई एम गोइंग आउट नाउ। It says that on branch master changes to be committed modified file.txt. There was an untracked file called as file1.backup. One file change, 53 insertions are done. Now since we edited file1.txt, okay, those changes were added. Okay, now I'll check the git status. It still says that this backup file is untracked. ओके, ये फाइल अभी तक आपने ट्रैकिंग के लिए डाली नहीं है। तो अगर अभी मैं पीछे जाता हूं मेरे वर्जन हिस्ट्री में, तो ये फाइल लॉस्ट हो जाएगा अगर मैं उसको ट्रैकिंग के लिए नहीं डालता तो। ओके, सो आई नीड टू यूज गिट add and then the file name file.backup. now it will be added to the staging area. अगर मैं स्टेटस में देखूंगा तो यहाँ पे आपको दिखेगा चेंज स्टेजिंग एरिया में ये फाइल क्या गया है। इसको अनस्टेज करने के लिए गिट रिस्टोर डैश डैश स्टेज फाइल, ये आपको यूज करना पड़ेगा उसको अनस्टेज करने के लिए। सो आई जस्ट शो यू हाउ टू अनस्टेज अ फाइल। अनस्टेज मतलब फाइल को ट्रैक करने से रोकना। ओके, विच सो फार दिस फाइल इज नॉट कमिटेड, इसलिए वो कमिटेड फाइल में नहीं है, इसलिए मैं अनस्टेज उसको कर सकता हूँ। स्टेज्ड फाइल file1.bpk, this was the name of the file. Okay, and if I click on this and I see the status again, it is gone out of the staging area and it is still untracked file. Okay, so to track this file again I will do git add file.bpk. उसको रिस्टोर अभी नहीं करना है, मुझे इस फाइल को कमिट करना है so that the changes in this file are committed. Okay, git commit with a message or without a message, that is my choice. So I'll say with message, and this is committing backup file. Okay, so it says that I have committed the backup file, and now you'll see this. This is the new head of my repository. Okay, my now master has moved to a new commit point. So there are now 2 commit points already in my repository. My first commit point had some other IDE, if you remember, and this is the new commit point. Okay, I guess it's 442. We'll continue discussing about Git first in next practical session. This is actually not the portion of advanced DevOps lab. This is portion of DevOps lab, but we will require the services of repository, Git repository, and Git commands should be known by you for doing certain things that we are supposed to do in our experiment number 2. That is why I'm taking this particular portion as well. Okay, so we can write your roll numbers in chat window. Hopefully this quick introduction to Git commands gives you a perspective about, at least it has overwhelmed you कि Git में बहुत सारे कमांड्स है और ये कमांड प्रैक्टिस से ही आ सकते हैं. So I want you now is in the week that is there, try to view all the other files in that tutorial. So Git tutorial part 1 हमने देखा, part 2, part 3, part 4 जो है वो देख के समझ लो कि Git कैसे ट्रैक करता है फाइल्स को, कैसे वो यूज करता है, and this is an industry standard, so you need to have this on your hands. ओके, ये सब कमांड आपके दिमाग में और आपके हाथ में बैठने चाहिए so that you can be good at using a version control system and all the other version control. So Git is not only one version control system, there are other version control systems as well like subversion and many others. तो दूसरे वर्जन कंट्रोल सिस्टम पे भी इसी तरीके से कम ज्यादा काम होगा. ओके, तो ये एक वर्जन कंट्रोल सिस्टम सीखोगे तो आप बाकी के वर्जन कंट्रोल सिस्टम यूज करना भी ऑटोमेटिकली सीख जाओगे. ओके, सो आई विल वांट यू to go through those tutorial YouTube videos बिफोर यू कम फॉर द नेक्स्ट प्रैक्टिकल, सो दैट अगर आपको कुछ कमेंट्स है, आपको कुछ क्वेरीज है, तो हम लोग वो रिजॉर्ट कर सकते हैं, वो लर्न कर सकते हैं जल्दी से। बिकॉज गिट सीखने में टाइम जाएगा तो एडवांस डेवऑप्स लैब के कंसेप्ट सीखने में अपने को टाइम नहीं मिलेगा। एंड दैट्स द रीजन आई वांट यू टू learn Git quickly, at least on your own, by looking at that video. I've given you a starter point to start learning, और ये यूज करके आप आगे आपका खुद का लर्निंग स्पीड से अब्रेस्ट कर सकते हो learning about version control system. Okay, I hope this was fun.